Salutations, one and all. This is my reaction and review to RWBY Ice Queendom Episode 11, Light in the Shadows. And last episode, ended up doing quite a bit of damage to Weiss's dreams. Seriously, her perfect silent empire has gone up completely in flames as Blake decided to use the power of darkness and hatred to invade Weiss's nightmare with one of her own, to basically show Weiss the foolishness of her own beliefs, of her own prejudice, by saying, this is how you feel about the faunus, well this is how the faunus feel about you, and about how the way you've treated my people for so very, very long. Oh, that was fun. Meanwhile, Yang decided to fight the giant statue of Big Nicholas for reasons. That's not really made clear why she's doing that, because, it was even said a few episodes back, if we get inside the building, we don't actually need to worry about Big Nicholas, because he can't attack us from inside, because we'll be inside him. Meanwhile, John, Pyrrha, and the Sillies are all off facing... Oh, Jacques, Weiss, his old man. I love that. I freaking love that. It's not really, a fight that's all that important or relevant to the storyline, but still gives them something to do, off in the sidelines, like, oh yeah, you're doing good, good for you. And we still have, John with that big sword, the sword which I'm fairly certain has some sort of significance, some sort of relation to Big Nicholas itself. Like it's how Weiss personifies what Hunter should be, what someone like her grandfather should be. If so, I would so love to see John use it to, basically kill Jacques. Oh, the symbolism there would be so much fun, so much fun. And it was also said last episode that Ren, Nora, or Pyrrha could be brought inside the dream if one of the dreamers ends up waking up. And that could be so amazing. Pyrrha is actually, there on the train in the dream. Not real Pyrrha, but dream Pyrrha, but, that means she wouldn't have to worry about traveling to the location. She'd just be right there from the start. Yay! And, because Weiss views her so strongly, because Weiss views her as being the ultimate perfect huntress, I feel like her dream self would be insanely powerful. Nora would just be utterly and completely chaotic, and I would love to see that inside of Weiss's head. And Ren, he can hide himself from the Grim, which would be very useful inside of a, Grim-fueled nightmare. So we'll see what happens with that. Oh, and of course, we still have RWBY facing off against Nightmare in the very center of Weiss's mind. And it looked like she was doing fairly well that fight last episode, but it can't be that easy. There is no way on God's green earth it's going to be that easy. We still have a whole other episode left after this one. So unless, episode 12 is just... oh, a nice fun epilogue where they all go to the beach together and party. Very, very unlikely. It seems, RWBY's gonna face some sort of challenge, some sort of unexpected surprise that's gonna make this fight way, way harder. But alright, let's get into this starting in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, Blake did quite a number on Weiss's nightmare here. Oh, whole bunch of White Fang were just killed right there. So, yeah, it seems like Blake is doing a fairly good job at winning this fight, but let's not forget that Weiss has, Big Nicholas, this giant freaking Titan robot that can wipe out, almost anything in the world. Yang, the thing is literally several hundred feet tall. I don't think there's really anything you can do to win this fight. I think at this point, your only goal should be basically distracted to keep it from going after RWBY somehow, some way, or interfering in Blake's fight against Weiss. Just, keep it busy, and that'll be a win in your book. Oh, and the mini Weisses. Oh, they are adorable. They are so freaking adorable. And I love Pyrrha, this big, strong, perfect huntress, is also just wielding the same tiny little weapon as the rest of them. Oh, John picked up the sword! Good for him! It's clearly a very powerful relic, even if he can't, fully wield it at this point. And I've said before, I do think this is symbolic. Well, at first I said it was symbolic of, Big Nicholas. But I also think it's symbolic of John's potential. It's the Weiss realizing that John actually has some potential as a huntsman, but he just isn't able to properly wield it quite yet. Yeah, come on, John. You've been doing good inside this nightmare. Do you really have to try and fail to swing a freaking sword? Yep, and he dropped it. He completely and utterly dropped it. God, that was pathetic. Pure, you want to come in and save John's butt? Even better, John, why don't you wake up and then send Pure in your place? She can probably wield the sword. Okay, that was unexpected. The nightmare just ripped off its leg when he tried to step on the sword. Now, was that Blake's nightmare interfering, or is this actually Weiss's nightmare? I do not know. I mean, the sword clearly has some incredible powers. I mean, seriously, Weiss, I could ask the same thing of you. Do you not see the giant robot of your grandfather fighting in the background, or the giant mansion in the sky, or the army of mini Weisses running around the city? There's a whole lot of very strange things going on here. I mean, you did exile them all out of the city. I feel like, you weren't too happy about them. Again, you literally exiled all of them out of the city. I think you do in fact hate them that much. Wow, so... I think Blake's wanted to say a lot of this for a very long time, and she's just super happy to have the chance to finally do it. Good for you, Blake. Good for you. And no, Weiss, you aren't to blame for all of this, but, you're hating on the Faunus because of the way they act without realizing, okay, maybe there's a reason why they're acting like this. Maybe they aren't all, criminals and scum. Maybe, maybe some of the things I have done or some of the things my family has done has made it so they are forced to steal in order to survive. Nah, I don't think that's the case at all. There we go. There we go. Okay, so Blake's plan is actually working. Weiss is realizing, the truth about herself. Weiss is also, seeing her own truth self. I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't work for the company. I didn't work for my father. I left all this behind to go to Beacon Academy because that's where I could, become my own person and find a way to fix the company, find a way to fix everything. Okay, so hopefully Weiss now realizes, wait a minute. I think I might be dreaming. Oh, we can only hope. Oh, that was a good blow. It actually do some damage to her? Impressive. Okay, so the vines around her body are acting like the aura, and they took the hit for her, and if she keeps doing more and more damage, eventually the vines are going to shatter, and then she'll be able to, destroy the real nightmare, destroy the real dreaming Weiss, hopefully? Weiss, you've also been possessed by something. Do you have this little self-awareness? Seriously. Alright, so now we have Blake and Weiss both fighting one another in order to free the other person. Oh, I love their friendship. I truly, truly do. Meanwhile, Ruby is trying to destroy the source of the nightmare. It's probably not going to work. Sorry, Ruby. Yeah, the thing regenerating is not a great sign, though she definitely has a much better chance in the last, 2-3 times she was in this room, because for once, Weiss isn't there trying to, stop her. Yay! Okay, so the Crescent Rose is actually important for stopping the nightmare. Hopefully, seriously, anything you might be able to use it for, anything, just justify its purpose, because you've been bringing that up since like episode 5, and I really seriously want to know what the deal is with the backwards freaking Crescent Rose. Oh, here we go, we're getting Angry Yang. I think it's the first time in this entire season we've seen her actually use her semblance. Oh, this is gonna be fun, this is gonna be a lot of fun. Come on, Yang, let's go Super Saiyan. Yes, that is exactly what a Super Saiyan would do. Jump off of a motorcycle and punch the giant robot in midair. I mean, never mind the fact that the thing weighs several thousand times what you do. Just punch it, Yang. That's a good choice. That is a very, very good choice. And it's working. I love anime logic. I guess it's dream logic. It's basically the same thing. Alright, good job, Yang. You've successfully destroyed one of its 6 arms. You're making progress. You're making progress. And she landed back on her motorcycle after it? Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's looking like it's going to be a pretty impressive blow. Alright, Yang, I guess you're going for the face this time? Let him have it. Oh, that was beautiful. Good job, Yang. Good job. You actually may have defeated this giant titan. Good for you. Okay, no, I think she just, broke its jaw and then crashed into its head to blow it up. Again, dream/anime logic means this will probably work. Okay. Now she is inside of its head. She's able to see the memories trapped inside of Big Nicholas. We're actually going to get to see the real Big Nicholas in a flashback with Weiss. Oh my god, please tell me that's what's happening here. Please tell me that's what's happening. Yes! Weiss and Grandfather Nicholas! Weiss and Grandfather Nicholas! Oh my god, I had no idea how much I wanted this until this exact moment. Oh my god, there he is! Oh, I love it. I freaking love it. And he's actually fairly accurate to the portrait we saw back in Volume 8 inside the Schnee Manor, but here we have Weiss actually interacting with her grandfather, and she looks adorable, and he looks adorable with her. I love it. I love it. Oh, people respect you like a king. I'm not gonna lie, Big Nicholas definitely has king energy here. He looks like he could declare himself King of Atlas, and nobody would complain. And it definitely looks like he might have that sword that John is trying and failing very hard to wield. Weiss, my little friend? He refers to his granddaughter as my little friend. Oh, that's just so charming. I don't know why. I love that. Yeah, Big Nicholas was absolutely a self-made man, and he'd want Weiss to be the same, to go out in the world, to explore, and to carve her own path, not follow the path that he laid down for her. Yeah, Big Nicholas, his whole thing, he went out looking for dust, basically by himself after, I think, the big war, and struck it rich, made an empire, basically, with just off the sweat of his own brow and his own 2 hands. He is absolutely a self-made man, and someone who I've suspected for a long time Weiss truly and completely admires and loves. Oh, child Weiss is so adorable. I love it. Seriously, if he has a line here about bringing her to the circus, I will lose my goddamn mind. I promise you, I will lose my goddamn mind. Okay, so the whole empire that Weiss has built up here is basically symbolic of what, her grandfather told her when she was a child. Build up the grandest, most noble castle she could to protect all of those who dwell within it. Okay, so it seems like this whole dream thing has essentially been Weiss trying to live up to that promise she had with her grandfather to build a noble castle where she can keep everyone safe, maybe even safe from the nightmare itself, because, the RWBY Beacon Academy, the cage holding all the sillies, even the mansion holding the faunus, it was all protected from the nightmare because those are things that Weiss truly cares about. Those are things that she was trying to protect with this dream as best she could as the nightmare ate away at her. Whoa, okay, that was grim. That was just so utterly sudden. I love it. So I guess, Yang basically broke Big Nicholas's head and therefore destroyed the memories, therefore destroyed this part of the dream, and it just lasted a little bit before, just completely and utterly falling apart. Okay, so we're going to see Weiss react at all to her grandfather, essentially her religious figure, being completely and utterly destroyed. I feel like that's going to cause some serious mental trauma in her already badly damaged mind. Alright, John, you're trying one more time to take down Jock. Please, for the love of all that is good and holy in this world, take him down. And what's more, if Big Nicholas could appear behind you and support you and help you kill Jock, that would be even better. That would be so much better. Yeah. Oh, okay. So, the mini Weisses are supporting him to kill Jock. Not exactly what I was looking for, but I'll definitely take it. Love that. It's also very similar to, the scene that was cut from Ice Queendom, where John was, had to fight against the Ursa, the big bear Graham, and he was only able to win the fight because Pyrrha supported him. Pyrrha helped move the shield at exactly the right angle to deflect the attack. So I like it. John has his big moment, but it's still a team thing. It's still a result of everyone else working together with him. Awesome. And... oh god, that is so hilarious and so funny at the same time. The nightmare statue of Jacques just wants to play with his family. I guess in a way you could say that's, the idealized version of Jacques inside of Weiss's mind, the person who does actually care about his family and wants to spend time with them and doesn't want to just, use them as pawns and chess pieces and whatnot. Yay! Jacques dead! Awesome. Yes, all the mini Weisses are very happy that John murdered her father for her. That's something they really, really wanted to see happen. Okay. Yeah, now the giant statue is falling apart. You might want to, really, really run away as quickly as you can. I know you really want to protect the mini Weisses and Pyrrha, but, let's not forget, they are literally just part of Weiss's dream. If they die, it's, not all that bad. It'd be disheartening, but you've lost quite a few of them already, just saying. Yeah, sorry, Weiss, your entire empire has literally fallen apart. I know I shouldn't be happy at this point, but just... seriously, in Weiss's mind, she must be having just the absolutely worst day. Basically, her god was just killed in front of her. Okay, so this whole thing is just an illusion. It's not the real Grimm. If I had to guess, I'd say the real one might be, in the book Weiss brings around with her everywhere she goes, the one holding Winter. That seems like the, most obvious solution to me. That's the thing that Weiss cherishes above all else and will always protect. Oh, or just, literally right behind her. So, they're also focused on the big Grimm on stage. None of them think, hey, what's back there behind me? That would actually make a lot of sense. Oh no, it is literally her shadow. Oh my god, it is literally her shadow. That's the Grimm. That's the true identity of the nightmare. Oh my god. That would have been hard. That would have been very hard to notice. Seriously, if Weiss hadn't given her that hint, it wouldn't matter how many times RWBY got to the scene, she just never would have figured it out. And so her gun was facing backwards for the sole purpose of RWBY being able to literally shoot behind her. Interesting? Very, very interesting. I'm not sure if that's really worth all the build-up for it, but I still like it. Okay, did she just beat the nightmare? Yay, maybe, but doesn't look like it actually stopped anything, and there's still, 10 minutes left of this episode, 20 minutes left of the next episode, so could not have been that easy, I don't think. Okay, RWBY, you can literally turn into petals. Why are you letting yourself get captured like that? Oh! Yes! Yes! Silver eyes for the win! Silver eyes for the win! Way too early for this from a story perspective, but they could definitely play it off as RWBY not really being sure of what she did, but suddenly the Grimm was destroyed. Wow, isn't that amazing? I'm also, 90% sure this is the reason why Ozpin even let RWBY go into Nightmare in the first place, because he was hoping, okay, if I send her in there, it's going to get really bad, and maybe somehow, some way, this will activate her Silver Eye powers. Maybe, and it worked! Huzzah! Oh, I love it, I love it, I love it! Dang, RWBY is doing a lot of damage. Seriously. I know this is inside of a dream, but this isn't a power Weiss actually knows about, so I'm not even sure if RWBY should be physically able to do this here. Oh, I gotta rewind and rewatch that. I love it. Seriously, the turn from tears into Silver Eye Warrior power is just so beautiful. Oh, I love it. I freaking love it. Okay, so RWBY has now defeated the Nightmare, and we still have, a good 40 minutes of the season left. So, what's gonna happen now? Is the rest of the season just gonna be about them, turning the tables and having to fight against negative Blake instead? That would make some sense, I guess. Yay! She's free! Good job, RWBY! Oh, yeah, Blake, that blow wasn't really all that necessary. You did it. You won. Weiss is free. Good for you. Please stop trying to murder her now. Please? Pretty please? Yeah, what exactly did you guys see out front? Because RWBY just activated her silver eye powers. Is that just, in the dream, or did her eyes glow a bit in the real world as well? I'm actually kind of curious about that. Did Ozpin notice? Because I feel like Ozpin was looking out exactly for this. Yay! Weiss is free! Good for her! Blake, let's see about Blake, though. Yes, there we go! Oh, God. He even said that line last episode, sometimes battle helps to awaken one's true power. This was his plan. This was his plan all along. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised to learn that Ozpin intentionally allowed the nightmare to infect his students just for the sake of RWBY learning to activate her silver eye powers. That is just how crazy and insane and conniving Ozpin really is. Yep. He had an eye out exactly on her because he knew this was going to happen. Oh, Ozpin, you're crazy. And I love that about you. Oh, nope, this is bad. Blake's gone fully evil. Blake can't actually free herself from the nightmare. Oh no! Oh, no. Okay, where is the source of the nightmare for Blake, though? I mean, for Weiss, it was inside of, big theater. Where is it for Blake? Is it back in the mansion? Or do they actually need to fight and defeat Nightmare Blake here? Yeah, she's not stopping anytime soon. She has been fully consumed by the power of hatred and evil. Oh no! Who would have seen that coming? Really, John, you didn't bring the sword with you? I know it's, really freaking heavy, but at the same time, it is really good at repelling the nightmare. So, yeah, not bringing it was a very, very bad choice on your part. Oh, you had siblings, though. Yeah, sorry, RWBY. Weiss's family wasn't as happy and, go get 'em as your family was. They were just all very lonely people, and it just made for a very sad upbringing for Weiss. And that, actually, I think about it. Back when, RWBY first swatted away Whitley, she's like, I guess that's Weiss's brother, huh? And I feel like it's a weird line, but here it makes sense because this is RWBY realizing, wait a minute, Weiss had a brother. If she wanted bunk beds, she could have had a bunk bed with her brother. So, wonder what happened with that. Awesome bit of foreshadowing right there. Love that. I mean, I really hope she does. At this point, RWBY has done so much to prove that she is, on your side. She's dived into your nightmares time and time again, risked life and limb, almost got consumed by her own nightmare. Seriously, Weiss, if this girl hasn't proven how much she cares about you by now, literally nothing she can do will change her mind. That is honestly kind of terrifying, just the dress dancing by itself behind her. Seriously, very unnerving. Yeah, I know you're really happy to be back with your friend RWBY, but there's a bit more going on around you that you kinda need to deal with first. Mainly Blake and the whole White Fang really wanting to murder you. Oh, we actually get a real hug this time. Not like last time where, it was all part of RWBY's dream and just was super, super creepy. But this is a real, genuine hug, and I love it. Okay, so Weiss has absolutely no idea what's going on here. She doesn't remember any of this, which is honestly quite disheartening because there have been so many moments of growth for Weiss in this dream. If just after all this she doesn't remember any of it, that's a bummer. That's a real bummer. Seriously, she's just now putting it together. Wait a minute. This is a dream. Therefore, oh my god, I got possessed. Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. This is the most horrific thing I've ever done. How am I ever going to show my face at Beacon Academy again? I love it. I love the shame Weiss is feeling right now over letting herself get possessed like that. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, nope, she's an idiot. She is an utter and complete idiot. Even in this moment, she can't realize, wait a minute, I got possessed first. Oh god, Weiss, you dumb. You are really dumb. Or I suppose just arrogant. Okay, so this has turned into a full battle against Adam, which I guess you could say is a full battle against, Blake's own negative feelings, which are symbolized by Adam. But I do like that. Adam makes for a good boss. Oh, I love her calling out for Yang like that. Really showing the affection between these two, even this early on. Oh, some definitely some strong emotions right there. Okay, so now they're just fully fighting Blake, which, I mean, definitely an unexpected twist, but I do like it because this allows all of Team RWBY to work together to face off against one foe, even though it is Blake and their whole goal in coming here was to face off against Weiss instead. I'll take it. I will definitely take it. Alright, come on, time for some Team RWBY teamwork here. Also, just now noticing, the hole where Yang cracked the mask is just an empty void staring into the very core of her being. That's unnerving. That is very much unnerving. Okay, I feel like, Weiss is still super powerful because this is still, kinda sorta her dream. Oh, wow. That is... And the light just went out. That feels appropriate. That definitely feels appropriate. It is very similar to how someone else ends up getting defeated. Oh, I love that. I absolutely love that. So, yeah, this is Blake literally stabbing away at her own, darkness, her own inner turmoil, and choosing to embrace the light. Light from shadows, as the title says. Well said, Blake. Very, very well said. Okay, so they actually need to have the light from inside the Grim shining through in order for its true form to show up. I was wondering what exactly this had to do with the last fight RWBY had, where she just turned around and was like, hey, there's the Grim, but this explains that. They also just, turn their back on the actual physical form of the Grim behind them, which seems like a very dumb move to make. Like, do all four of you actually need to fight this thing at the same time, or can one of you stand guard? Just saying. Yay! One more Grim taken care of. Now, unless RWBY gets possessed by a nightmare next, which I would so love to see, I think they've managed to win. Do we actually have another episode left after this, or is this, actually the end of things? I'm very confused about that. Holy God. Seriously, that was close. I mean, last time I saw the hourglass, 2 minutes ago, it was still, mostly full. What happened the last 2 minutes? Alright, so now they've actually won. Huzzah! I still have no idea what this meant. The snake eating its own tail. I mean, everything else in this whole dream world felt symbolic in some way, but the Ouroboros, the snake eating itself, that's weird. I do not know what that's supposed to symbolize here, other than Weiss trapped in a cycle of, just painful abuse with her father, and she'll eventually become the same way to her own children down the road, or something. I don't know. If you have any idea what this means, please let me know. Okay, so Weiss, are you now going to realize, wait a minute, there are a whole bunch of mini-me's standing around John. Why would Blake's dream have a bunch of mini-me's? Something doesn't add up here. You honestly don't recognize your own childhood self? Oh, Weiss, that's sad. That is so sad. Seriously. Finally she realizes. Oh, the despair on her face is beautiful. It's even better than when her god was killed in front of her. I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh, that's the Weiss we know and love. You've been, asleep for the last 3-4 days, maybe a week at this point. I'm fairly certain other people know. I'm fairly certain everyone in Beacon Academy knows. Your family probably already knows. I'm sure Ozpin, legally had to send them a letter saying, hey, your daughter's in a coma. I'll let you know if she dies or not. His team is literally right outside. Did you think he'd go in without telling them, without warning them what he was doing? Oh, Weiss. Oh, God, poor Weiss. She is so traumatized. She's so overwhelmingly traumatized, and I love it. Yeah, it wasn't a big deal. It really kind of was. You came very, very close to dying here. Okay, so there is still another episode after this. Chapter 12, Best Day Ever. Awesome. I know I kind of skipped over, but I just really want to know if this was it or if we still have another one after this. So what's left? Epilogue? Yes, Weiss crying in bed all day because she's too embarrassed to come out. That I like. That I really like. You really think you could keep the fact you're possessed by a Grimm secret from the professors? Especially the professor who actually had to, use her powers to let others invade your dream to wake you up? Weiss, you really, really didn't think this through. Oh god, outing crying Weiss is the best. Oh, that's adorable. That is so adorable. Oh my god, no, it got better. Now she's blushing. Oh, it got so much better. I'm sorry, Weiss, but I'm laughing too. It is too beautiful. Alright, and last episode, best day ever. So I'm guessing that's going to be more of an epilogue that wraps up everything and has, the team basically decide, okay, you know what? We've had a really rough week, couple days, however freaking long it's been. So why don't we just take a day off of class? We go to the beach, we go have some fun, we go do something wild and crazy. Huzzah! Hopefully. And I am definitely disappointed this episode. I mean, most of it was good. Most of it was really, really good. But the fact that Weiss remembers nothing of any of this, it bothers me. It definitely bothers me. I mean, part of the reason why Blake went all, super evil, dark Blake was to show Weiss the error of her ways, show Weiss that, her way of thinking was wrong, and now Weiss remembers none of it. Weiss has no idea about anything Blake said, or why Blake was even so mad at her, which, oh, that feels like a wasted opportunity. That feels like a very, very big wasted opportunity, but, maybe next episode, best day ever, we'll address that. We'll have Weiss basically talked to Blake about her real feelings, about why she was so mad at Weiss and what the Faunists have really gone through over, years and years. Complete generations, literally basically since the dawn of time, since the dawn of, the very Faunists themselves, they have been treated as second-class citizens, and Weiss just really utterly fails to understand that. I mean, she has some idea that her father has not been treating them all that well, but she really doesn't understand the history of the Faunists enough to actually make judgments about them. So that'd be nice. And, like I said, best day ever. Hopefully they get to party it up and have fun. Huzzah! Maybe. We'll see about that. But let me know what you think about all this down below. What'd you think of the big ultimate battle of Blake versus Weiss? Of RWBY versus the Nightmare? Of Yang driving her motorcycle up Big Nicholas's face, punching through it, invading his brain, and then watching the memory he had with Weiss. Oh, that was precious. That was so utterly and completely precious. Oh, and then we had RWBY use her silver eyes. Way, way too early, but, I think with everything else going on, she won't actually realize, okay, yeah, that was kind of weird. I just shot beams out of my eyes. How exactly did I do that? I think she'll have just forgotten about it, but, Ozpin, he's watching, he's like, alright, she used her silver eyes. That's exactly why I wanted all of this to happen. That's exactly why I planned out this whole thing every step of the way, because I was confident that she would use her silver eye powers and become way more useful to me. Yeah, Ozpin's kind of evil. Ozpin is definitely kind of evil. And then, we just had all of Team RWBY teaming up together to face off against Nega Blake. Definitely kind of a weird foe for them to go against. I mean, I was definitely more expecting, Weiss to join their side and them to work together to face off against Nega Weiss instead of Nega Blake. But, I guess it did allow Weiss to face off against Nightmare without fully realizing, oh my god, this is my nightmare, and being essentially too embarrassed to actually move. Okay, I mean, like I said before, definitely disappointed that Weiss doesn't remember the nightmare, but just her just being in utter and complete denial that it was her nightmare was just so adorable and so hilarious, and I freaking loved it. But anyway, until next time, until the best day ever, peace!